A new event in Rochester is being planned to help foster early reading and provide connections to local resources that support literacy in our community. The Early Reading Conference is being hosted by the Rochester Alumnae chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority in collaboration with Action for a Better Community and supported by Mayor Lovely Warren. Here to tell us more is Andre Harper, Family Services and Operations Manager at ABC, as well as Dr. Gail Harrison, Social Action Chairperson for the Alumnae Chapter. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
How did the idea for this conference come about?
Well, the idea for this conference came about approximately a year ago. And in our chapter for social action, we were asked to write a grant and look at some of the issues that were important within our city. And the issue of reading has been a major concern for quite a while. And so we took that idea, we took that concept, and we said, how can we best help? So we wrote up an outline, shared it with Mr. Harper and the Parent Policy Council, and we were able to make a go of it.
How did the idea for this conference, how does it align with ABC's mission and what you do?
Well, you know, our mission is to prepare families for school success, preparing children, preparing parents to support their children. And that's one of the things that often gets missed is the value of parents and their support and how that impacts a child's readiness for school. So that's one of the things that we've always been committed to, and when we start talking about the idea of coming together, it was just a perfect alignment and provided opportunity for us to move forward on it.
What's going to happen at the conference?
Well, at the conference, a number of things will happen. We're going to have two primary speakers. One is Dr. Javon Hunter. He is a professor at Buffalo State, and the other is Dr. Toni Mixon. She is a professor at Roberts Wesleyan, and both of them have their expertise in reading and urban education. And so they have been involved, they've been teachers earlier before they went into academia. They have ongoing research, but they also have worked with families and done workshops before. So we're really anticipating some good interaction. The overview will be one of a kind of a developmental look at what's happening. So we're looking at, okay, what are the ideas and strategies for 0 to 2? What are the ideas and strategies for 3 to 4 and 5 to 6? So that regardless of how old your children are, you get the idea that this is an ongoing process. It doesn't just start at preschool or it doesn't just start at kindergarten.
The conference will be open to parents and caregivers from ages 0 to 6 years old?
Yes. So we'll have that going on. ABC is going to be able to provide child care. So if you have some children and it's on a it's on a Saturday, so you might need to bring your children, we'll be able to have lunch there.
That's right. And another one of the important features is preparation and the learning process that goes on before children even get here, while they're in the womb, and the things that you can do to prepare your children for success, even from that standpoint and moving forward.
What are some of those things that you tell a new mom or expectant father?
Well, we have MVP is a healthcare provider, and they're going to be coming to share those kinds of things. And so, of course, your health is important. You have to have a child who's developing appropriately. I mean, the embryo has to be developing appropriately. You want to make sure that you're eating the proper foods and getting the proper nutrition so that there's brain development. You want to make sure that there's that you develop the bond with your child so that as you're talking and you're singing and you're playing and interacting with the child, their brain is growing and developing along those lines instead of along lines of not hearing language, not hearing songs. you know, you certainly don't want your child exposed to negative kinds of things. You don't want their brain developing to protect them against trauma or stress. You want them to be, their brain to be developing in the direction of a healthy brain, one that's open to ideas and experiences and those kinds of things.
That's right.
And so one of your goals is to connect parents with resources that are within the Rochester community, so including Action for a Better Community. What are some of the other resources that you would like to see parents tap into that are going to be at the conference?
Well, we'd really like for parents to recognize the beautiful, wonderful resource of the library.
Oh, yes.
So we'll be that will be represented there. As I mentioned, MVP will be recognized there. We're also going to have some kindergarten teachers there and reading specialists there, so they'll be able to give their viewpoint. And we will also have a binder of information. So after parents leave, they will be able to kind of turn to, okay, 0 to 2. Here's some fun things that I can do. Okay, my child's 5 to 6. Here are some more other fun things. So they'll be leaving with a binder, really, of those kinds of things that have been shared at the conference, and we hope some additional ones. And we really do hope that parents will, by the end, will be able to feel comfortable interacting. So for example, can I share one thing?
Absolutely.
So for example, something as easy as chutes and ladders. Now this is just, this is just a game, but there are no words that are involved, but it teaches sequence. And so however old your children are, they can play chutes and ladders, and you can talk and have fun with it. But in the meantime, you know, you're building the understanding that reading and learning has a sequence to it. It also has little consequences in there too. So, so that's excellent. Another thing for your early readers, you can learn things like how to tie your shoe. So you have you can practice it, and you know, you have your little story that goes along with it. So you have those kinds of things. So I have a whole bag here of things that we can share, but I won't. We can go on with it.
When you talk about benchmarks and literacy, we often hear about the third grade being an important, critical time for kids in terms of literacy. What do parents need to know about that?
Wow.
They need to get ready for that. They need to get ready for that, and they need to understand that at the third grade, that's when the assessment is taking place. But what you do before that benchmark is going to be critical to that child's success. That's why we talk about in the womb reading to your child, making sure that they understand because they're sensing everything around them. So those are the opportunities that you have to add to the language development, the literacy development, and enrich their environment with those kind of words, so that as they matriculate through life from the various ages on to school, that they'll have a repertoire of language that they can pull from.
And you know, third grade is so important because at third grade, you're not learning to read, you're reading to learn. And I'm sure you've heard that before. But it's critical. And so if our children don't have that skill, then even though they might be able to catch up within a year, you're still behind. And it just makes learning really difficult, and it makes school, you know, an uncomfortable place to be. And that's not what we want, because we know our kids are smart. We know that if you start early enough and get that foundation going, then when they do hit school, you know, they're ready to go. They know their numbers. They can identify numbers. They know the difference between a letter and a number. You know, they have beginning sounds and can read short words. So,
what do you hope the takeaway is for parents and caregivers once they leave the conference?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know we want one of the takeaways to be the beginning stages of a home library. You know, one of the things we want people to really understand, that their home has to be a learning environment. So getting there is going to be critical, and we're going to provide opportunities for parents to begin those kind of things in their own home.
Yeah, and parents will be we will be having some books that parents can take with them, so they can start that library.
That's right.
You know, but the take-home message is that reading and learning can be fun.
Right.
It really is fun, and to recognize that really everything that we do, our children are sponges and they take it in.
That's
So
right.
if we're aware of that, we can start early, we can provide that foundation so that learning can continue to be fun and exciting through books.
Okay, and how can people register?
Well, 325-5116, extension 3300 is where people can call and,
Okay.
and say
This
that
is a
they're
free
coming.
event?
It's a free event,
Okay.
and that is the line where you can get plugged in, let us know you're coming,
Okay.
so that we can prepare for you. And you can feel free to stop by the venue.
That's at the
We'd like for you to
Rochester,
register,
REOC.
but it's at the REOC.
Okay.
So, and we know that, and we anticipate that that might happen, and we're okay with that happening as well.
Okay. Final question, any plans for future events after this?
Well, we're going to take a look at this, and I know
See how
there's
it
some
goes.
things coming.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're very excited about getting this off the ground, and we're looking to do much more in the future.
Excellent. Looks like it's going to be a great event. How much room do you have for people, by the way?
Well, we have the big conference room that's at REOC, and I believe it can hold 100. I'm not sure.
So
But
quite a few.
We're anticipating. We were thinking for starters, 25.
Right.
But this has really grown so much
Wonderful.
that now we're looking at 80, possibly 100.
Wonderful. I wish you
signing
every
up.
success. Thank you so much for coming on today. Again, the Early Reading Conference will be held from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 14th at the Rochester Educational Opportunity Center. That's at 161 Chestnut Street. And again, the number 325-5116, extension 3300. And be sure to include the number of children you're bringing with you that might need daycare for that day. Thanks for watching this edition of CityWise. I'm Tiana Stevens, and we'll see you next week.